Good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join me today out here in the vegetable garden. You know, it's beginning of August. It's going to be a warm, humid day today, but you know, the garden's really flourishing. Well, anyhow, today I wanted to talk to you about how my garden is on fire. In fact, flames of fire. And why is that? Well, because my Canna Lilies are in bloom. And so today I thought we would take a tour and show you how my Canna Lilies are just flourishing here in our gardens here in Pennsylvania, Zone 6. So thanks for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden. You know, I just love these Canna Lilies because, you know, once you buy the plant, and I paid around $4 a plant, but once you buy the plant, you can reuse them year after year here in Pennsylvania, Zone 6. I just dig it up every fall, and, you know, you wait till your first hard frost, and then it wilts the plants back, and then you cut them off at the base, and I dig them up and put them down in my basement, you know, which is around 55 degrees. And I just store them in big Tupperware containers. I just pile them right on there. In fact, then I just cover everything with a big piece of my spun bonded polyester plant. But you know, I love these Canna Lilies. They're very graceful. They add a lot of fullness to your garden. They give it a tropical look. And again, once you buy them, you'll have them forever. You know, as long as you store them over the winter down in your basement. But you know, they don't really, in the beginning you can keep them watered, but throughout the season, typically they'll take care of themselves, which makes them basically maintenance free. But, you know, they just have a piercing, vibrant red color. And just as you look through the garden, you know, look off in the distance, you know, they kind of reminds me of flames of fire because of their so vibrant color. In fact, if you take a look right through the trellis, you'll see I have one you can see right there off in the distance. And so follow me along and let's go check out these beautiful Canna Lilies. I have these Canna Lilies scattered all through the garden, but you know, let's just take an overview first of areas that I have them planted. So over to the right of me on my garden structure is where I have a couple growing there next to the trellis where I have some morning glories. And then here on my left, between the lawn and the edge of the woods, I planted some of these. I plant these here every year. I also have some elephant ears mixed in, but they add a nice separation between the woods and the lawn. And again, they add a nice grace to the garden, nice tropical look. You know, again, the colors are just beautiful. And then down through my arched trellis there, my cattle panel trellis, down in my potato patch area, I have like 5 planted in a circle. It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers, so it's kind of like creates a focal point in your garden from a distance, because again, it just gives a flames of fire, a burst of color in your garden. And of course, you know, they attract the bees too, the pollinators, you know, to have, and so it's just great having all these flowers in the garden. So anyhow, let's take a little closer look at some of these Canna Lilies. And so here on the end of my outdoor garden structure is where I planted 2 of these Canna Lilies. And you know what's nice, each year you store these, you know, the mounds get wider and wider. The root system gets more bulbs in them, and so, you know, the plants just get larger and larger each year you plant them. In fact, you can even divide these up to make more of them as they get mature. But you know, these Canna Lilies here, again, they add a nice beautiful color to the arbor here, or to my garden structure. They break up the hard corners, you know, the square lines on this structure. And again, the nice big leaves here, they kind of remind you of palm trees, you know. That's a nice beautiful big leaf. And so let's go down below my potato patch area and take a look at the beautiful Canna Lilies down there. And so I'm standing right here in front of my arched trellis. I made that out of a cattle panel. And you know, the panel itself costs about $20, but it's a great way to add an inexpensive trellis to your garden, and they'll last basically forever. But this is an entrance into my, what I call my potato patch area, although I do grow more vegetables than just potatoes down here. But yeah, if you take a look through, you'll see that bouquet of flowers that I call it as a focal point, you know. And what it does is it draws your eye from one end of the garden to the next. And again, they just add a beautiful radiant color to the garden. I also added 3 Canna Lilies to the base of my purple martin birdhouse. I built this birdhouse about 3 years ago down in my woodworking shop. So let's take a walk through this trellis here. And straight ahead is where I had these bouquet of flowers, or Canna Lilies. Again, they just add a beautiful, vibrant color to the garden, and it draws your eye from one end of the garden to the next. I also, to the right of me, I have these hibiscus plants growing as well, which really add a beautiful color to the garden. And so anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden, taking a look at these beautiful, vibrant red Canna Lilies. And if you have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to leave them in the section below. And you can also visit us at plantsmartliving.com. And there you can learn more about gardening, and also how you can reclaim your health by adopting a plant-based vegan lifestyle. Well, anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful day today. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.